You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 4th of December. Trade and defense in focus as Russia's president arrives in India. 42 US lawmakers urge sanctions over Pakistan crackdown. And GenZ in Bangladesh pushes for political footing after Hasina's exit. And now for all the details. Russia's President Vladimir Putin arrived in New Delhi on Thursday for his first state visit to India since the beginning of the Ukraine war. The two-day much-awaited visit comes amid India-US tariff tensions over the purchase of subsidized Russian oil. Both sides are expected to sign agreements on trade and defense, reinforcing long-standing ties. We have a report.
India and Russia are deepening their economic ties. Just hours before the arrival of President Vladimir Putin in New Delhi for a state visit, India and Russia on Thursday announced ambitious plans to boost their two-way trade to $100 billion by 2030. Deputy Kremlin Chief of Staff Maxim Orshkin, speaking at a business conference in New Delhi, said Russia is actively seeking to import more from India. Orshkin highlighted several categories where Russia hopes to source more products: consumer goods, food and agricultural products, medicines, telecom equipment, IT services, and industrial machinery components.
First, that the Russian delegation and the business are here today with a specific purpose. We are here for Indian goods and services, and we want to increase the supplies of such products to our country. This is not a one-time story, but a strategic choice in development of relations between the third and the fourth economies of the world.
India, for its part, said it is ready to expand its export footprint. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal told the gathering that New Delhi wants to diversify its sales to Russia, naming automobiles, electronics, data processing equipment, heavy machinery, industrial parts, textiles, and food products as key areas of opportunity.
Of course, you very rightly pointed out that it's very skewed and needs to be more balanced. We need to bring more diversity in our trade basket. We need to make it more balanced, say, Russia and India.
Meanwhile, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and his Russian counterpart Andrei Belousov also co-chaired the 22nd India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation ministerial meeting in New Delhi. Putin arrived in New Delhi later in the evening accompanied by a large delegation. He was scheduled to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a private dinner on Thursday, followed by formal summit talks on Friday. The visit comes at a time when India has been under pressure from the US to cut back on its imports of Russian oil, as Washington claims this enables Moscow to withstanding pressure of economic sanctions by the West and continue its war against Ukraine.
Moving on, 42 US lawmakers led by Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal and Congressman Greg Casser have written to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, urging immediate sanctions such as visa bans and asset freezes against senior Pakistani officials. They accuse Pakistan's military-backed government under PM Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir of escalating transnational repression and a worsening human rights crisis. The bipartisan letter, made public on Wednesday, says that US citizens critical of Pakistan's military have faced threats, intimidation and reprisal targeting their families. The lawmakers warn of deepening authoritarianism, including detentions of opposition leaders, intimidation of journalists, arrest over social media and disproportionate repression of women, minorities and Baloch communities. The members urged for the release of former PM Imran Khan and other political prisoners, arguing such steps would uphold human rights and protect US citizens. And Afghan Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi on Wednesday said the shooting of National Guard members in Washington, D.C., allegedly by an Afghan immigrant, has no link to Afghanistan's people or its government. His remarks come a week after the incident in which suspect Rahmanullah Lakanwal was accused of opening fire on guard members, killing one and critically injuring another. Lakanwal, who appeared in court remotely from a hospital bed, has been charged with murder and other offences. Muttaqi called it an individual criminal act, adding that the suspect was trained by the Americans themselves. US officials say Lakanwal served in a CIA-backed Afghan unit and entered the US in 2021 under President Biden's Operation Allies Welcome. Muttaqi said the US trained him, assigned him and illegally brought him to America. Lakanwal's Afghan origin has since become a flashpoint in Trump's immigration crackdown. In the latest, the Trump administration this week announced that it has paused all immigration applications, including green card and US citizenship processing, filed by immigrants from 19 non-European countries, citing concerns over national security and public safety. And international aid arrived in Sri Lanka as the country struggles to cope with Cyclone Ditwah's catastrophic floods and landslides that have claimed hundreds of lives and left entire communities buried under mud. Nearly 4 days on, rescue teams and villagers continue a desperate search for the missing.
International aid reached Sri Lanka on Wednesday as the country reels from Cyclone Ditwah's deadly floods and landslides, which have killed at least 474 people. Military aircraft carrying relief supplies from the UAE, India and Bangladesh arrived in Colombo, bringing food, clothing and mosquito nets. Neighboring India has also sent medical teams, including doctors, anesthesiologists and other specialists to support the ongoing humanitarian operations in the disaster-hit island nation. According to Army Commander Lieutenant General Lazantha Rodrigo, the Lankan military has deployed more than 28,000 personnel for rescue and recovery efforts.
මේ වෙනකොට 25400ක යුද හමුදා බට පිරිසක් 700ක නාවික හමුදා බට පිරිසක් සහ 2200ක ගුවන් හමුදා බට පිරිසක් ඇතුළුව 28500ක බට පිරිස් ප්‍රමාණයක් මේ මුදවා ගැනීමේ කටයුතු සඳහා යොදවා තිබෙනවා.
Meanwhile, nearly 4 days after the devastating landslide hit the country's Mawathura region, villagers were still digging through thick mud on Wednesday in search of missing relatives. The landslide, triggered by Cyclone Ditwah, flattened around 13 homes as it crashed into the settlement after midnight.
උදේ මා ඇවිල්ලා අපේ උඩා මල්ලි කෙනෙකු නගි කෙනෙකු හිටියා පෙදීපුයි පෙදීපුයි නංගි බේරගත්තා දරුවා නැති වෙලා හිටියා. ඒ පුංචිත් නැති වෙලා හිටියා. ඒ දෙන්නත් අරන් ස්පිතාල ගිහලා බාර දීලා ඇවිල්ලා තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම සුද්ධ කරන මේ තියෙන මිනි ටික ගොඩ අරගෙන බුමු දාන කටයුතු කරන තැනට මේ තාමත් වෙසින් ඒ වෙනුවෙන් තමයි අපි වැඩ කරගෙන යන්නේ මේ.
Deadly storms have battered South and Southeast Asia in recent days. In Sri Lanka alone, more than 350 people remain missing and 1.2 million have been affected by the cyclone.
And the GenZ in Bangladesh, who toppled the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government, are struggling to hold ground for the upcoming election in February. We have a report.
The student-led National Citizen Party, the students who toppled longtime leader Sheikh Hasina and launched a new political party this year, now find themselves struggling to translate the street power into votes. The party faces entrenched rivals with deep networks and resources as polls approach in February. The youth accuse the student-led party of abandoning the ideals of July 2024 uprising and becoming the same as the establishment they vowed to replace.
আমাদের দেশ তো ভালো নাই বর্তমানে যারা আছে তারা তাদেরকে নিয়ে চিন্তা করতেছে দেশ নিয়ে কে কতটুকু ভাবতেছে আমার মনে হয় না তো দেশ নিয়ে কেউ কতটুকু ভাবছে জুলাই আন্দোলন যেই প্রেক্ষাপটে হওয়ার কথা ছিল পরবর্তী বাংলাদেশটা আমরা ওরকম পাই নাই যারা ধরেন যে জুলাই আন্দোলনটাকে পুঁজি বানিয়ে এখন তারা বড় বড় পর্যায়ে গিয়ে বসে আছে আমাদের মতো মানুষদের কথা শোনার মতো তাদের কাছে টাইম নেই তাদেরকে তো আমরা খুঁজেই পাই না আগে তারা টিএসসিতে ঘোরাফেরা করতো এখন তাদেরকে আমরা তাদের সাথে দেখা করতে হলে এখন আমাদের অনেক বড় পর্যায় পর্যন্ত যাওয়া লাগবে তাদেরকে তেমন খুঁজেই পাওয়া যায় না কি বলবো বলে
A December poll by a US-based non-profit showed that the Bangladesh Nationalist Party of former Prime Minister Khalida Zia leads with 30%. Even the hardline Jamati Islami comes in second with 26%. The student-led National Citizen Party, which aims to contest all 300 seats, is in third place, with support of just 6%. Another sign of growing disenchantment was the party's failure to win a single seat in September's student body election at Dhaka University.
I don't want to burden them with my expectation. I think they need to do what they would. I would like to see their policies. I'm still not aware of their policies and what kind of national policy plans they're having for implementing. I do believe that they will get a certain number of votes and certain seats in the parliament, which will give them a negotiating stake.
Some young people are still inclined to support the party, seeing it as striving for a more egalitarian culture in a political landscape shaped by money, muscle, and dynastic power. NCP chief Nahid Islam, a key figure in last year's deadly anti-government protests and a former member of the caretaker administration led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, acknowledged the party's weakness, attributing it to insufficient time for building a strong foundation. The NCP launched an unusual search for candidates in November, interviewing more than 1,000 applicants among ordinary citizens nationwide over 2 days.
এবং আমরা যথেষ্ট পরিমাণ সময় পাইনি নিজেদেরকে সংগঠিত করার, জনগণের কাছে পৌঁছানোর। সেক্ষেত্রে অবশ্যই তো নির্বাচন আমাদের জন্য অত্যন্ত চ্যালেঞ্জিং একটা বিষয় হবে এবং আমাদের তো নির্বাচনের অভিজ্ঞতাও নেই। তবে আমরা সেই চ্যালেঞ্জটাকে গ্রহণ করতে চাই, নির্বাচনের মাধ্যমে আমরা জনগণের কাছে পৌঁছাতে চাই এবং নিজেদের সক্ষমতা কতটুকু আছে সেটা জানান দিতে চাই, নিজেরাও এটা বুঝতে চাই। আর বাংলাদেশে এই মুহূর্তে নির্বাচন প্রয়োজন, বাংলাদেশের স্থিতিশীলতা, জনগণের আস্থা সবকিছু মিলেই। এ কারণে আমরা চাই যে একটি সুষ্ঠু এবং নিরপেক্ষ নির্বাচনের মাধ্যমে আমরা এই সময়টা থেকে সামনের দিকে উত্তরণ করতে পারি।
Moving on, Asia's only natural ice skating rink in India's Shimla city opened for the winter season on Wednesday with successful trial runs as early snowfall helped form a smooth layer of ice. The 105-year-old open-air rink, established in 1920 during the British rule, is a major winter attraction in Himachal Pradesh state and continues to draw locals as well as tourists from across India and abroad. Despite the bone-chilling weather, enthusiasts, especially youngsters, were seen taking to the ice as the rink opened. Organizers say the favorable December conditions have raised hopes for more skating sessions this year, even though global warming in recent seasons has reduced the number of operational days.
शिमला आइस स्केटिंग रिंग जो है आपको बताना चाहूँगा 100 साल से ऊपर से ये चल रहा है और खासियत कि इट इज़ अ हिस्टोरिक रिंग और ये जो है काफ़ी लोगों के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है, काफ़ी जनरेशन। आई एम द सेकेंड जनरेशन, आगे हमारे बच्चे भी जो हैं इसमें जुड़ चुके हैं, तो ये काफ़ी लोगों को लोकप्रिय एक खेल है जो शिमला में वासी हैं उनके लिए एक बहुत अच्छा साधन है विंटर्स के अंदर अपने जो है रिक्रिएशन के लिए।
Yeah, it's very cold firstly. We're coming from warm regions, we've never seen snow and whatever. It's my second time in Shimla, but it's my first time roaming around, and it's my first time ice skating, so that's great. And I didn't know that it was the only natural ice skating ring in Asia. It was very good. The people are really, really helpful. They guided us, they held our hands until we stabilized ourselves and all, so it's genuinely worth it, and it's not as hard as it looks, so everyone should try it.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.